No need to fear that Kody's ex-wives may be missing the very alarming unraveling of his personality. Nah, they notice it too. Janelle and Christine continued their press tour for season 19 by stopping by the Sirius XM Show Smith Sisters Live. Janelle revealed what Kody told her about Mary being granted a release. The ex-wives talked about just how much a polygamy pariah Kody is now, and they both wondered out loud about if Kody is okay. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that he's not. We have a lot to talk about. Let's get into today's video. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Sarah and welcome back to my channel. I had never heard of the Smith sisters before, but I loved their show. If you have a Sirius subscription, definitely check them out. They're over on Radio Andy. One thing I really loved about their interview with Christine and Janelle is you can tell they are longtime fans of Sister Wives, so they know the backstory. The interview flowed more like a conversation between friends, and I think that led Christine and Janelle to be a little bit more revealing with some of their answers. I mean, this is the interview that Christine calls Kody a deadbeat dad.
So as we end our show, very quickly, can you each describe Kody in 3 words?
Just 3.
Yes.
Deadbeat.
Okay.
Dad. Sorry, that's 2, but that can be 2. Deadbeat dad and oblivious.
See, I would say he's charismatic. Come on, when he walks into the room, he's very charismatic.
I'm too mad at him right now.
I guess I'm sort of over it. I'm like, I mean, he's charismatic. I do think he is selfish. I do. And I do think oblivious is probably good. Like, he seems to be sort of like, I don't know, like the reality is bewildering to him, kind of. So that's more than 3 words, but
Honestly, 6
And
more
hide your
perfect
mom.
words. Yes.
Hi, your mom.
In my video that I put out a couple days ago, I talked about Mary's release from Kody and Kody's reaction to church leaders trying to hold him accountable for his bad behavior. So we've got the show's perspective, and we have the AUB prophet's daughter filling in some tea on this situation. And now we have Janelle revealing what Kody told her about what went down regarding his conversation about Mary's release.
and he was kind of a little bit bewildered that they had not been very nice to him when they called him. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Sure. I mean, I'm sure that they were trying to be like matter of fact with you. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm like, how do you call somebody and say, oh, we granted your wife a divorce? I don't know. But like he was like,
What were the grounds for the divorce? Did they tell him?
Abandonment.
yeah, like, I mean,
So did he say that to you? He's like, they said it was
yeah,
abandonment?
Yeah.
And you were like, well.
I'm like, well, yeah.
well.
I mean, like, I don't think they were out of line in any way.
No.
And I was actually so proud of Mary because Mary is loyal to a fault, like to a fault, and almost to her detriment. And I'm like, I was really proud of her for being like, okay, I need to take this final step. You know what I mean? And really, truly break that commitment. Because we take those commitments as serious as a legal marriage, right?
Yes.
And so I felt like that was pretty empowered of her to step out into that.
Yeah,
You know what I
and-
mean? So
I love how Kody goes to Janelle expecting sympathy and understanding, and instead Janelle is like, well, dude, you did kind of majorly abandon her, so... Over the years, Kody has purposefully preyed on the discord between his wives to maximize the stroking of his own ego. Despite what he said in the earlier seasons, he never wanted his wives to get along. No. If his wives got along, they could team up against him, and he couldn't be having that. And there's no better proof of how Kody actually didn't want them to get along by how absolutely unhinged he has become over Janelle and Christine bonding after surviving their marriage to Kody. So even though Kody and Janelle's marriage wasn't in the best place at this time, he thinks that she'll still be on his side with the whole Mary release situation because historically, Mary and Janelle have had a contentious relationship. Does anyone else notice how Kody seems to do the bulk of the gossiping to Janelle? Janelle and Mary may never have been besties, but Janelle always recognized Mary's ability to put fairness first, and she wants what is fair for Mary. If Kody would just go back and watch the show, he would have known Janelle was never going to commiserate with him over a mutual hatred of Mary, because when the legal divorce was brought up initially, Janelle called out how she actually preferred Mary as the legal wife because she trusted that Mary wouldn't screw the rest of them over. And she just couldn't say the same thing about Robin. But in this interview with the Smith sisters, Janelle goes on to discuss how she often wonders about Kody's mental state.
It's so funny because like part of me is like, are you aware of how you act and how you think and how you, and like sometimes I'm wondering, I'm like, is he okay? Like it's like, because he just, I don't know, sometimes I'm like, are you not aware? Like, he used to always talk about self-awareness, be self-aware to the kids. Like he's always like be self-aware. Like he was always trying to, and maybe that's something he's always had to work on. Because sometimes I'm like, are you aware of how you act? Like, or what you say? Like, I don't know. I'm always like.
Also, is he aware of the fact that his relationship and his family has been on TV for years? And if the world can see that he has abandoned his family, the church is going to see it as well.
And this is just one example of what I love about the Smith sisters and their interview style. So one of them asks, is this dude not aware that his relationships with his family members have been depicted on TV for years? So it's not rumors that he's abandoned his original wives and kids. We've literally been witnessing this play out for a decade and a half. The Smith sisters go on to ask about whether or not Janelle and Christine feel like Kody did what Mary accused him of, icing them out until they left him so he could have clean hands and he could be the dumpee as opposed to the dumper.
And I want to know from you all, because in an episode earlier this season, he kind of dropped the bombshell that, like, in the church, the husband can't leave the wives. I've always gotten the impression that he basically iced all of you out to kind of push you to the point that you left him so that he could kind of throw his hands up and be like, well, they left me. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, they left me. I didn't leave them. Is that how you have interpreted that dynamic too?
I think I definitely made my own decision to leave. You know what I mean? And I don't know if he necessarily iced me out. I just disagreed with his relationship with his children and some of the preferences that were starting to be very apparent. But
I think he's a relationship coward.
Yes, he is.
While I am loving the fact that Christine is suing Kody and calling him a deadbeat dad, I still feel like sometimes Janelle and Christine are way too generous in guessing about Kody's intentions. I mean, they obviously know him better than we do, but how could you not see that that is exactly what Kody was doing here? Especially since he sits there in couch interviews and bemoans the fact that he isn't allowed to leave his wives, but they can leave him. I cannot wait until this cloak of charity that these parents have afforded each other over the years is fully off. Like, what the fuck is the point anymore? You're not preserving your kids' image of their father. I mean, we know a lot of them have at least seen bits and pieces of the show. You don't think that they've talked to each other about the things that he's said about them in confessionals? If I'm Madison's siblings, I'm about ready to claw eyes out at this point, the way Kody is talking about her on the show. And we pretty much see exactly that when Hunter made what I interpret as a shady post referencing divorcing dad vibes in a recent Instagram story. When Janelle called Kody charismatic in this interview, I'm like, seriously? Like, I found him charismatic in the early seasons, but now there's absolutely nothing I find redeeming or charismatic about Kody anymore. And it's so interesting to me because I feel like Janelle's kids have a worse relationship with Kody as far as the kids go, but Janelle will still call Kody charismatic. And Christine is the most pissed at Kody, but she talks about telling her kids to always answer the phone when Kody calls. And McKelty has said that siblings that she lived near back when she lived in Utah were still leaving the door cracked open for Kody. And Kody doesn't really blame Janelle for the way Janelle's kids feel about him. He blames Christine. I can never follow Kody's logic. I found it fascinating that Janelle and Christine did wonder publicly if Kody was okay, because clearly he is not. As always, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Check out my second channel, Sarah Spills. A link for that will be in the description of this video. Follow me on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and X at Reality Squad, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Have a good one. Much love.